All right. So, in reading Goblin Market, I actually want to kind of go off of my very first impression. And I think that the poem itself has a lot to do with female empowerment, but I read into it a whole different meaning that I'm now questioning. I know it's not necessarily how poetry works. Go with the feelings that happen. However, when I read the poem, the first thoughts that came to my mind were actually related to rape. Um, Trigger warning right there in case anyone needs to stop watching. But there's a whole sense to the poem of this unwantedness and a forceful sort of language when it comes towards the interaction with these goblin men. And I think that has to do with part of the way that it is personified, um, with them being something unhuman and, well, they're aggressive because they're men, but specifically, there's a couple stanzas or lines I want to focus on, and why I think that ultimately relates to a female empowerment trope. Trope's not the right word, but so for instance, right when they are forcing her to eat fruit, I think that is kind of an interesting little section because it shows her as standing white and strong, like light. There's a couple different phrases I didn't write down, but her holding this almost sense of purity, but still staying strong in the face of what's happening with all these men around her. And it says, they held their hands and squeezed their fruits against her mouth to make her eat. And it's an interesting choice of words because the squeezing and the alliteration to um, just the fruits being such a fertile symbol, such a aphrodisiac kind of thing throughout literature, and then them forcefully doing something against her will as she stands there acting like it's not going to take her down and that she won't crumble under this, I think lends to some kind of credence that it could be a very rapey sort of interaction. When she then later goes on to talk to her sister, Laura, it's almost as if she is concerned, not necessarily because of the interaction and that she's out there by herself. However, I read into it a concern of, oh no, my little sister is no longer pure and innocent because she's seen the darker sides of the world. She has been exposed to this carnal section that she was not supposed to see at this age. And she responds by saying, I have braved the glen and had to do with goblin merchant men to let her sister know that the deed has been done, again, in my head, within my reference points. Um, and thinking about that forbidden fruit again, the forbidden fruit could be a symbol of the forbidden fruit, the carnal knowledge. And Laura replies with, must your light like mine be hidden? Your young life like mine be wasted? I think, again, alluding to that loss of innocence. It's gone, it's been wrecked, and that's where Laura's concerned. Just my thoughts.